Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. It's a really cool Monday because today is the 3rd of July, and there's a lot of folks that got today off so they can have a really nice, big, long weekend because tomorrow is the 4th of July.
It is.
And we'll have a program tomorrow as well, so we're excited. Take a listen to this. And my guest today, Dr. Jeffrey Rubin, going to talk about the art of flourishing. So if you want to flourish, be listening for the art of that coming up.
Okay.
You ready for a quote?
I am ready.
I was trying to be silly there, and it came out stupid. So I apologize on behalf of my entire family. Here's your quote for today from Aristotle. There is only one way to avoid criticism. Do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. Well, then people will criticize you for not doing anything. So
That's true.
I don't think that'll work either there, Mr. Aristotle. I know you're a genius and all, but did you think of that? Coming up in a bit, we've got some special things to celebrate. We'll tell you about that on the way.
John and Heidi.
Many people make extra money working from home. They find a product and they market it to earn extra income. I know what you're thinking. I just don't have the time or personality to do sales. Well, you don't have to. We have a business builder program to make our program super easy. You can sign up for this work from home business and let us help you build it. We run ads on radio stations like this one, and we help people like you learn how to earn extra monthly income. Call us toll free at 1-800-975-7592. See how easy it can be to have your own business. 1-800-975-7592.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Monday, July the 3rd. Today is Compliment Your Mirror Day. Mirror, you are so beautifully streak-free. Today is also Earth at Aphelion Day.
I don't know what that means at all.
I think it's like our Earth is in a certain spot in the solar system right now where it rotates around. Aphelion. I don't know. It is also Stay Out of the Sun Day. Yeah, good luck on doing that. It's the middle of summer. It's beautiful. It is Superman Day. I like Superman.
I loved Superman.
And it's International Plastic Bag Free Day. So this is a day that if you go to get something that usually would get stuffed in a plastic bag, you say, hey, can you please put that in a paper bag instead?
I can't stand those plastic bags.
I'm not a fan either. But we should probably get some totes. We had some. Remember we had some totes?
I have a couple.
We should get some of those.
We should never take them along.
We should throw them in the car.
Which kind of defeats the purpose of the
but if we throw them in the
totes.
car, then we would just have them. Not like Rubbermaid totes.
No,
I'm talking
I
about
understand.
like
I know the bags. We've got some. I just don't know where they're at.
I'll find them and we'll start using them. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
It's 2017. Are you still getting your movies and TV the way we did last century? Quit overpaying for old technology. For just $20 per month, you get live news, live sports, live channels filled with movies and more, all for just $20 per month. You can also stream movies and TV shows, so you can binge watch every episode of your favorite TV show. Learn more now at channelsurfertv.com. Get movies and TV for a low monthly fee at channelsurfertv.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. A family had a pair of miniature schnauzers. Those are puppy dogs.
I know.
They were distraught when their puppy dogs disappeared in a thick fog while they were on a walk. How sad would that
They
be?
didn't have them on a leash?
No, they were out just letting them free range it.
Well, that's their own fault.
They thought that they would never see Charlie and Theo again. They're schnauzers. Did I mention that?
You did.
Okay. Their owners launched a rescue operation, and more than 120 people showed up to help find Charlie and Theo. So hang on, let's pause for a second. 120 people come looking for 2 dogs. That is a huge rescue party. These people must be pretty popular. Because I think if we lost our dogs, if we had one person help us, I think I'd be shocked. We'd be like, yeah, good luck with that. Lost my dog. Could you help me? No, I'm busy. 120 people showed up? Anyway, they did this for 96 hours. They were searching for 96 hours. Again, that's a long time to look for 2 schnauzers. At last resort, guess what the family decided to do?
Just call for them?
No, they decided to go back to where they lost the dogs last time they saw them, and they brought a grill along, and they started cooking sausage on the grill. So they were cooking sausage where they last saw the dogs, and within minutes, guess who shows up for a sausage? 2 schnauzers named Charlie and Theo.
Oh, my goodness.
So they'd been out there shouting for him, Theo, Charlie. Nothing. Cook up some sausage. here comes a couple of schnauzers looking for their food.
If your dogs would have been on a leash, you could have avoided all of
Yeah.
that trouble.
Keep the dogs on a leash, first of all. And second of all, try the sausage earlier next time. 120 people spent 96 hours looking for these dogs,
That's
and all they needed was some
crazy.
sausages. So apparently,
Hope
should
they
have
brought
thought of
enough
it sooner.
sausage to feed all those
Yeah.
volunteers.
I hope so too. I'm just saying again, I think it's an interesting story. And you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. We've all been there. In the middle of something, you get a phone call from a telemarketer. Now, I want to pause. If you do telemarketing for a living, we don't hate you. It's just that we don't like what you do for a living. I just want to make sure you know that. It's not personal. We're tired of the calls, okay? So Jason D. of Sparks, Nevada thought, I'm going to outsmart these guys. He brushed off the caller saying, hey, I can't talk. I'm busy robbing this house. Well, Jason wasn't robbing the house. It was his own house. But the man on the other end of the line did exactly what he should have done. He called the police. Moments later, guess who's at Jason's door? Yeah, the local police. Well, they couldn't arrest him for burglary since it was his own house. When they got there, they saw a bunch of drugs sitting on his table, and he had 3 outstanding warrants, which they decided to, fulfill. He was arrested. 2 of his friends were sleeping at the house. They were also arrested. So there you go. Maybe next time you just talk to that telemarketer. I'm just saying.
Or just hang up like everybody else does.
That would work too. Coming up, your moment of duh.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. We head to Atlanta, Georgia, where a woman caused a 24-vehicle pileup.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, here's why. She was driving a pickup truck with a sofa in the back, and it started to rain. She thought, oh, hey, I don't want my sofa to get wet. I'm going to stop underneath of this bridge right here in the middle of the road.
Oh.
Bad plan. Police say the woman swerved suddenly to get under the bridge, caused 8 separate accidents, only minor injuries. There were 24 vehicles that were involved when it was all said and done. So maybe I understand what she was thinking. Hey, I don't want my sofa to get ruined. But what about all those cars?
Oh, man.
Oh, boy, that would be a bad. Can you imagine that? So how was your day? Well, sofa didn't get ruined, but a lot of cars did in the process.
We saw a vehicle online yesterday. Somebody with their air conditioner was out in their vehicle, and they attached a generator to the back of the vehicle and ran a cord to the side window and had a window
air
conditioner attached to their car.
Hey, got to do what you got to do to stay cool. Just saying.
That was so funny.
Yeah, it was funny. We've got your scoop of the day on the way.
John and Heidi.
I'm John Small. Ever since I was a little fat kid, my nickname has been Big John Small. Well, I decided it was time to do something about that. When I first stepped on the scale, a little over a month ago, it said overload. That was kind of scary. After about a week, it said 336. Then a week later, 326. Now, less than 316. I've lost over 20 pounds in about a month, and I did it with a delicious pink drink. It's been super easy, and if you'd like to try it for free, go to the website pinkdrinkfree.com. They'll mail you some free samples and the details on how to get more if you like it. That's pinkdrinkfree.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your scoop of the day. We'll start with this. Somebody's buying the store Staples for $6.9 billion. Whoa.
Wow.
That seems like a lot.
It's a lot of staples.
That's a whole lot of Staples. So they're $6.9 billion. I think that's about what we'd get for this place if we decided to sell it, wouldn't we? Maybe not. Hey, a jewelry store decided a thief that was going to rob a jewelry store picked the wrong store in India. His demand was to hand over a display case of diamonds, and it was met with a gun right in his face. Since the shop owner is also a police captain, the robber was immediately placed under arrest.
Wow.
Came in to rob the place. He's like, I want all these diamonds. Give it to me now. And click, click, gun right in his nose. How about you just stop robbing me? Put on these handcuffs yourself.
Bad idea.
And we're going to just take you to jail. An R2-D2 unit just sold on auction a week ago. It was last Wednesday for $2.76 million, Heidi. 43-inch tall unit, which was made from parts used on screen throughout the original trilogy, was the most expensive piece of memorabilia at the auction. No information on who purchased the item.
And I don't know if he still lives in his mother's basement or not.
I just don't get that
I'm just
fascination with that whole series. I don't
Our son loves it.
understand.
Our son absolutely loves it. We'll have to go wake him up later in the basement and see why. Again, I'm just teasing. I'm teasing. I understand the fascination. It is pretty darn cool. Hey, police in Fremont, California are on the hunt for a man who broke into a cell phone repair store. The robbery must have been spur of the moment because the guy, he robbed the place with a shirt wrapped around his face and socks on his hands to not leave prints.
Okay.
He clearly didn't plan ahead.
All right, Heidi, I love this story. A suspect who led police on a chase from Louisville to the southeast Indiana backwoods treated a few dozen police cruisers like Bo and Luke Duke would have. He was driving in circles and reversing, eventually ran around in laps before being corralled. He got caught, but I bet he had a blast. And there's video if you want to see it.
Okay.
It's like real live Dukes of Hazzard. Again, it's not often that I cheer for the bad guy because I'm not cheering for him. I'm glad the police caught him. But I'm telling you, if you're going to get caught, this is the way to do it. I just think it's kind of funny. Again, if you want to see the video, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Louisville media reported they believe the suspect was wanted for stealing purses from customers' cars as they were filling up at a gas station in Kentucky. The chase finally came to an end as the suspect drove into a field and was surrounded. But like I said, he certainly had some shenanigans worth watching. If you have a moment, Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. You'll see the video there. Mount Cisco, New York, a parking meter attendant is accused of stealing money from the meters, 1 quarter at a time, could be sentenced to 7 years in prison for stealing quarters. Guess how many quarters he stole?
How many?
$30,000 worth.
Whoa, that's a
Yeah.
lot of quarters.
He must have really big pockets. And finally, one day will get you 20. Or maybe it could, for an inmate that decided to flee from jail stupidly on the same day that a judge had ordered his release anyway.
Oh, wow.
Sherman Lee Parks, 50 years young, served 9 months in the Dallas County, Arkansas jail. According to Dallas County Sheriff Donnie Ford, the judge ruled that since he had been locked up for 9 months, that we should just let him out. Parks, now wanted for an escape attempt, was re-arrested and sent back to the Dallas County jail for the very next day, and he'll end up getting there another. It says 20, so 20 years or 20 days. I don't know if it's for 20 more days. I don't know. How long do you go back to jail for trying to break out of jail?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I've never done that before, and I don't encourage it. Doesn't sound like a good plan. Coming up, we've got a special guest that's on the way.
John and Heidi.
I know it's hot out now. It's the middle of summer.
But imagine how cold it will be in November.
That's when we're going to go to Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic.
We'd love it if you'd join us.
There's a week-long event called 80s in the Sand with a bunch of great music from bands like Loverboy, Starship, Night Ranger, and more.
Plus, you get to meet 80s icons like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and so many more.
If you'd like to join us for this great time, go to 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to save $200 per person.
That's 80sinthesand.com. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We got a big day tomorrow with the 4th of July sneaking right up on us here. And I thought today would be a great day to talk to somebody about something that means a lot to me. It's going to be talking about our freedom, and we're going to be talking about the next generation and how important it is for them to know about these freedoms that we have. Jenny L. Cody is an award-winning children's author, and we've got her on the line right now. How are you doing, Jenny?
I am blessed and wonderful. How are you, John?
Fantastic. What's that?
I said it's great to hear your voice.
Oh, well, it's great to be heard. And you know, speaking of hearing your voice, that's one of the really neat things about our country and the freedoms that we have is we all have the freedom to have our voice be heard. We get to, you know, stand up and speak our mind, and that's protected under the Constitution. And that's something that not everybody has around the world, is it?
That's right. That's right. And it's a precious liberty that I think many times we take for granted, and sadly lately is being trampled upon by how I think many of us have abused that privilege. And, you know, we strayed away from the right way to speak our voice with civil discourse. And, you know, our founding fathers knew how to disagree and do it well. But as you know, I'm partial to one particular voice. You want to guess who that is?
Who's that?
That would be Patrick Henry, and he was known as the voice of the revolution.
And the cool thing is, I see you've got a book coming out soon, and it's called The Voice, The Revolution, and The Key. Now, that's not quite ready. That's like a month from now, is it, that it'll be coming out?
Right. It comes out August 15th.
Okay.
However, pre-orders are going like crazy
Nice.
on Amazon or my site, epicorderafthe7.com. So there's a lot of kids out there that are excited about this because this is the 7th novel. I have 6 others out. And so, but this one is going to be Patrick Henry's time to shine and our founding fathers. Yeah.
That is really cool. Now, Jenny, let's talk about how you made the decision to utilize this topic as far as your writing material. There are a lot of people that write a lot of books, but to utilize this material and to be talking about our country's origin and our country's freedom, what was it that made you decide this is something that needs to be written for that young reader out there?
Well, I'm a passionate patriot. I have always loved the Revolution. I mean, I grew up in Yorktown, Norfolk, Virginia, and my mom would drive through the battlefields of Yorktown to get to the grocery store. And so these seeds of our nation's founding were planted in me early. And I went to museums, and I went to Williamsburg, and I went to Jamestown, and all these places. And so the impression on me early was how precious our freedom was, because I lived where it was really birthed. And so of all of my founding fathers, Patrick Henry is my favorite, and he is so forgotten. But there's some good reasons he is forgotten, because he didn't care about being remembered, because he knew his service to his country wasn't about him. And so as I started studying his life, he is like the perfect role model for kids. And my life mission is to make kids passionate about history, and especially our history in this day and age when America is struggling as a nation together. And our kids, I fear, they're not getting the history that they should. And you say young readers, this book coming out is 672 pages. It's not a small little novella. I mean, it's a big thing, and it's geared for 8 to 12-year-olds, but honestly, half my readers are adults. So this is a work that's going to introduce readers of all ages about our nation's founding, those years leading up to the Revolution, and focusing on this incredible patriot that changed the world.
And the thing that I would say most people probably know Patrick Henry for is the very famous quote, "Give me liberty or give me death." But there's so much more to know, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. And, yeah, so, whenever I do my survey, what do you know about Patrick Henry? 7 little words. That's all I get. But here's a rundown of some of the things that he did that people don't know. Several days before we celebrate independence, on June 29th, Virginia declared its independence, and Patrick Henry was elected the first governor.
Wow.
And he was the 5-time governor of Virginia.
So Virginia led the way for the American Revolution, really.
They did. And even a decade before we declared independence. You remember this little thing called the Stamp Act?
Yeah.
And Britain was, imposing its taxes on us. Well, a young rookie Burgess in the Virginia House of Burgesses, on his 29th birthday, Patrick Henry, he'd only been a Burgess for 9 days, and, you're supposed to sit there and be all respectful and not say anything and listen to the guys that have been there for a while. And the Stamp Act was getting ready to take effect, and Patrick Henry's looking around the room, and he's like, why is no one speaking up about this? And so he drafted these resolves to send back to England to say, no, we're not going for this. And what happened was Virginia passed those resolves. They spread through the papers throughout the colonies. And once they hit especially the northern colonies, you know what happened? They were all like, whoa, look at Virginia. We need to be as bold as she is. And that's when the Sons of Liberty were born.
That's awesome.
So Patrick Henry, that's why in 1765 he's called the voice of the Revolution, because he really was the first one to speak out against tyranny and what was happening.
Think about what a difference that man's life made on our lives and everybody that's in America right now that enjoys the freedoms we enjoy.
That's right. And he also, during the war, when he was governor, and you might not think, well, that's, a lot of the action going on, George Washington credits Patrick Henry for saving the Continental Army by scrambling to get supplies and food and everything that they needed to keep them from the brink of extinction. And then after the war, guess what? You wouldn't have a Bill of Rights if it weren't for Patrick Henry, because he fought for 3 years for us to have that document. It's incredible to consider the contributions that one individual can make that sometimes we never even know, even someone as famous as he was at the time.
Yeah, so much more than just those 7 words, give me liberty or give me death.
That's right.
Again, our guest today is Jenny L. Cody, and she's the author of a book, The Voice, The Revolution, and the Key. It's coming out on the 15th of August, so it's not out yet, but you were saying you can do the pre-order right now?
Right. It's on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and all of them, but if you want a signed copy,
Ooh.
and also autographed by the real Max and Liz, who my main characters are a Scottish Terrier named Max and a French cat named Liz, who are based on my real pets. And so you can get the autograph.
Nice.
In the book also from my website, epicorderafthe7.com.
Very cool.
Yeah, so there's a team of 7 animals, and they're working behind the scenes in pivotal points of history, and the humans are clueless that they're anything other than, animals. But they provide children and even adults that fall in love with them. They're like the tour guides through history, and they explain what's going on and provide like running commentary, and they just make it a ton of fun. And so I hope that if kids have never discovered my books before, that they will jump in and dive in with Patrick Henry and the Revolution. It's a fun read.
Well, I appreciate all that you do to help make history fun, not just for adults, but for kids as well. And I think that's important, because if we forget our history, I think what do they say? If you forget your history, you're damned to repeat it. Is that what it is?
Right.
So
right. History always repeats itself, right?
And it is so important to know where we've been so we can, maybe avoid some mistakes and make better decisions in the future.
That's right.
Well, Jenny, thank you again. I appreciate you taking the time to visit.
John, thank you so much for having me on, and I wish you a fantastic happy birthday, America. Happy July 4th.
Absolutely. Again, award-winning author, and she's a super nice lady to visit with as well, author Jenny L. Cody. And the new book is coming out next month, but you can pre-order it now if you'd like. It's called The Voice, The Revolution, and the Key. And I'm going to put a link to it on our social media to make it really easy. So if you're looking for it, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Thanks for listening.
John and Heidi.
Are you enjoying your summer, or are you worrying about this fall and how you're going to pay for college? A few years ago, a young man named Matthew was having those same worries. Then he went to work to find as many grants and scholarships as he could find, and he got a $70,000 top-rate education for free. Now he's showing you how to do it too. FreeEducationUniversity.com can help you find ways to get your schooling paid for, and right now you can get this information for less than half the regular price. Use promo code Radio1000 to save $1,000 at FreeEducationUniversity.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A recent survey found women spend $125,000 on clothing during their lifetime. You spend way less than that.
I spend way less.
You get
than
more clothing for like $15. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In the early 1990s, a series of fitness videos came out. They were called what? Do you remember?
In the early 90s? Buns of
Steel. Yeah. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Between 1931 and 1969, Walt Disney received 35 Oscars.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot of Oscars. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The Pittsburgh Penguins made Mr. Rogers an honorary captain in 1991. You suppose he wore a sweater out on the cold ice when he was skating around out there? You know his mother made those sweaters?
I did not know that.
Yeah, Mr. Rogers' mother made the sweaters. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
When the mummy of Ramses II was sent to France in the mid-1970s, even though Ramses has been dead for, hundreds of years, it had to be issued a passport. So the mummy of Ramses II had a passport, and it said Ramses' occupation was king/deceased.
Okay.
I think that's interesting. A couple of fun facts brought to you by pinkdrinkfree.com. Not just another diet, it's a way of life. pinkdrinkfree.com.
John and Heidi.
I'm John Small. Ever since I was a little fat kid, my nickname has been Big John Small. Well, I decided it was time to do something about that. When I first stepped on the scale, a little over a month ago, it said overload. That was kind of scary. After about a week, it said 336. Then a week later, 326. Now, less than 316. I've lost over 20 pounds in about a month, and I did it with a delicious pink drink. It's been super easy, and if you'd like to try it for free, go to the website pinkdrinkfree.com. They'll mail you some free samples and the details on how to get more if you like it. That's pinkdrinkfree.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Are you a fan of Spider-Man?
Is that one that you like or not so much?
Not really. Not so much.
You're more of a Superman girl, right?
Superman, yeah.
Any others that you like?
Deadpool.
Deadpool? Oh, that's right. Yeah, our son got her hooked on Deadpool.
I love Deadpool.
Some unsuspecting Starbucks customers were in for a Spidey surprise when Spider-Man dropped from the ceiling to claim his Grande Cold Brew. An ad agency rigged up a promotional prank for Spider-Man Homecoming. In the video, which I have a link to on our Facebook page, you can see Spider-Man. It's actually a suited stuntman. I want you to know that it's not the real Spider-Man.
Thank you for clearing that up.
I just want to clear it up. So a Spider-Man suited stuntman drops from the ceiling on wires while customers wait to pick up their orders, giving several of them quite the scare. The video also features a cameo from Stan Lee, in keeping with Marvel's inclusion of the comic book originator in all of its films. They've been doing that, so he's in there having coffee as well. So if you want to check it out, it's on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. I think that's kind of cool. What would you do if you were just standing in line to get your coffee and Spider-Man fell out of the ceiling?
Spraying with bug spray.
Would you think it's cool, though, or would you not be?
I wouldn't be super impressed, probably.
So you'd be the wrong one to surprise.
First of all, you'd never find me in a Starbucks. So,
oh, Heidi, come on. So if it were some other store and you fell out of just pretend some bargain place. Heidi's a big fan of saving money, just so you know. It's like, I can make my own coffee for 18 cents. What are you talking about?
That is not why I won't go to Starbucks.
Well, see, I gave you the opportunity to sound like a nice person, and here you go. If you'd like to see the video, it's at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. And if you'd like to know why Heidi doesn't go there, you can ask her on Facebook as well. Gonna move on now. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
It's 2017. Are you still getting your movies and TV the way we did last century? Quit overpaying for old technology. For just $20 per month, you get live news, live sports, live channels filled with movies, and more, all for just $20 per month. You can also stream movies and TV shows, so you can binge watch every episode of your favorite TV show. Learn more now at channelsurfertv.com. Get movies and TV for a low monthly fee at channelsurfertv.com.
Has anybody ever told you that the two of us look alike? Anyone ever say, you guys kind of look alike?
No.
I've never had that either. But it says, if people say you and your mate look alike, chances are it's because you do. Researchers from the University of Liverpool, in conjunction with the University of Durham and the University of St. Andrew, have determined that the longer we're with somebody, the more likely we grow alike in appearance. So
I don't think it's necessarily appearance. It's probably more mannerisms.
Mannerisms, I suppose. We both gained weight together. We both lost weight together.
But you pick up someone's mannerisms, and I think that can make you look like somebody.
Yeah.
I've been told many times I look like my dad, but he's not my birth father.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think it's just because we have the same personality and we have a lot of the same mannerisms.
Yeah, and my son, which I adopted, Heidi's son, when we met, he was 2, so I was not around for the creation. But I've had people who talk about how much we're alike.
How much you guys are alike, yeah.
We don't look alike because he's 6'3" and 130 pounds. His pants are like 40 something tall and like 30 around.
He's a 29-38.
And I'm like a 38-29. It's kind of the backwards thing. So we're almost twins. So anyway, they say the longer you're together, the more you look alike. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. It says, did you know that taking a break from it all actually benefits your psychological health? Oh, I need to do that. According to the Journal of Applied Research and Quality of Life Studies, they've shown the largest boost in happiness comes from the simple act of planning a vacation. Not even taking it, just planning it. In the study, the effect of vacation anticipation boosted happiness for 8 weeks. Let's plan some vacations. Let's plan a bunch of them. We're actually going to be taking a vacation.
We are.
Going to be going to 80s in the Sand in November, and we've invited people to join us. If you want to go, you can join us. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So
I can't wait.
I'm so excited.
So excited.
And we've got information on that on our Facebook page, so if you want to know more about it, going to be a whole lot of fun. But the thing is, we should start planning what we're going to do there because it says here that'll make us happy.
I've already got it planned.
Well, you haven't told me any of this. You bought me some new sunglasses, though. Thank you.
I did.
I wore those yesterday. I felt like Mr. GQ. So I'm walking around. Nice sunglasses. Thank you. My wife got these for me.
Yeah, the plans pretty much consist of picking out a lawn chair on the beach,
Sitting in it.
and then that's it.
There you
I'm
go.
done.
Every photo from there is going to be, here we are on vacation. Still here. Still a pile of cans around you. Still here. Vacation solution. No, vacation. What would you call that when you win? Vacation win. There we go. I don't know what I'm talking about either. I'm going to stop talking. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
I know it's hot out now. It's the middle of summer.
But imagine how cold it will be in November.
That's when we are going to go to Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic.
We'd love it if you'd join us.
There's a week-long event called 80s in the Sand with a bunch of great music from bands like Loverboy, Starship, Night Ranger, and more.
Plus, you get to meet 80s icons like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and so many more.
If you'd like to join us for this great time, go to 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to save $200 per person.
That's 80sinthesand.com.
John and Heidi.
This story is a happy story and a sad story. It's not our good news. We got good news coming your way. But this story, I'm really happy for her, but I'm also really sad for her. 68-year-old Elsie Holdren recently lost her job as a security guard at a courthouse. This is in Vieira, Florida, because her colleagues thought that she was just too courteous. Now, I'm happy for her because she seems like she must be a sweetheart. She was transferred to a courthouse in a nearby town of Melbourne. Her superior told her that due to your caring and giving nature, you are compromising your position as a security officer.
Well, I could see that. I mean, it's a job you have to be tough.
Being caring and giving is not a job requirement, nor is it what you are paid to do. So 68-year-old Elsie Holdren, again, she still has a job. So that's where I said it's a happy and sad story. It's sad because they had to say, well, we're going to discipline you for being too nice. But it's happy because she must be one heck of a sweet, nice lady.
I don't think they're disciplining her. They're moving her to probably a safer district where being nice isn't as much of a job hazard.
I remember when I was just a kid, I had started working at the radio station, so I was probably 19 or 20 at the time. But at the time, I had plenty of extra time, and I was going to get a second job. For a while, I had 3 or 4 jobs at any given time, and I was going to get another job, and there was a job where my job would have been like staying overnight at a house with juvenile delinquents. And I said, hey, I grew up with my brother, so I could probably do this. I mean, hey, I was raised around him. So I was thinking that this would be, like a duck to water. I'd be able to do this. And I remember sitting in the interview, and this lady across the table from me, she said, would you be offended if I called you, and stuff I can't say on the radio? And I was like, no, I don't know. I don't think so. She's like, because that happens here every day. And I didn't get the job because I'm too nice. She said, I just don't think you can handle it. You're too nice, and I can't imagine you disciplining these kids. Looking back on that, I'm really glad I didn't take that job, even though it wasn't offered to me. So I'm really glad that I didn't take that path because I think it would have changed who I am, and I like who I am. Gosh darn it, I like me. So anyway, I feel like such an idiot just even saying that. But I understand what they're talking about. You have to be a certain personality type to do certain things, and I probably wouldn't have been cut out for that.
You could probably do it now.
I don't know. I still don't think I could. I'd be the one that everybody gets along with, and I'd be the one that when I'm on duty, that's when they'd sneak out because they'd know that Buddy John's going to go down and get us.
I think you could do it now. You've hardened up a lot
Have
over
I?
the last few years. We both have.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think. We've got some good news coming your way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I have some good news for you. This was actually shared to me by like 6 different people. It was posted, when was this put out? June the 27th, so it was last week. The headline says, stranger buys car for 20-year-old Texas man who walks 3 miles to work every day.
Aww.
So now the neat thing is, here's how the whole story starts. There was a guy driving along the road, and he saw a kid walking, and he offered him a ride. So he picks this kid up and gives him a ride. And in the discussion they're having, he finds out that this kid walks 3 miles to work every day. And it's a young man who's a very responsible young man, super nice kid. Every day, 20-year-old man walks 3 miles to get to work at a place called Taco Casa, and this is in the state of Texas. 95-degree summer days, this stranger rolled down his car window and offered him a ride, and then the coolest thing happened. He had no idea that this little gesture was going to turn into this life-changing thing that happened for him. The 20-year-old said he was determined to save up some money so someday he could afford a car. Well, this man that was driving along that gave him a ride posted a thing on Facebook saying, hey, this kid, what a cool kid, and he's walking to work, and he's such a responsible young man, and a huge outpouring of support from the community. Hundreds of people said, I want to give some money to this.
That's
and there was
awesome.
a local business owner, a pizza shop owner that said, hey, I'm going to put in a donation box. You want to come in and drop it off? And it didn't take them long, and they raised $5,500 in less than 48 hours.
That's awesome.
And there's a video on our Facebook page. A local dealership found the story in this community and said, hey, we're going to work with you. So they gave him a car that was worth more than that, but they said, we're going to figure out a way to make this work.
Oh, how great.
And they brought the car to him at work, and there's a video of them presenting this car, and the kid is like, are you for real? Are you serious? It's just the coolest story. And thank you. I had a lot of people share this with me last week. You guys are getting the picture. If you find good news, please share it with me so I can share it with everybody else. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening on a Monday.
Time now for a bonus break on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We've got a special guest joining us. This time of year, it gets pretty bright outside. So instead of squinting, you want to put on a pair of sunglasses and look cool. That's what we're going to be talking about. We just missed National Sunglasses Day. That was on the 27th of June. But we've got a guest that we're going to be chatting about sunglasses with today. We have fashion consultant and TV contributor Xana Roberts-Rassi. How you doing, Xana?
I'm great. How are you, John?
Fantastic. Fun to chat with you. Now, a lot of people this time of year when it's bright out, they instead of squinting, you should probably be wearing sunglasses, shouldn't you?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, there's nothing worse than just squinting away walking down the street, right? And, you know, I think there's so many things we forget that squinting is not only damaging to your eye health. You've got, you know, you're at risk of, from sunburn on your eyelids, irritation, red and swollen wrinkles, even more severe cancers. But then if you wear a sunglass, it also looks absolutely fantastic. It takes an outfit from 0 to 100 in a second.
Exactly. So they make you see better and they make you look better.
I mean, see better and look better. Who could ask for more?
Exactly. So what are some of the reasons that it's important to shield your eyes from the sun's UV rays? Those are things we don't always think about, but it's important to do that, isn't it?
Totally. You know, if you're not protecting from these sun's UV rays, you're at risk of all the things I just mentioned. But also, you know, you think about the time that you should be wearing sunglasses, and it doesn't matter if it's sunny outside or not. The the UV rays are still in action, and specifically between the hours of 2 till 4, when most of us are out and about, lunch breaks, picking up a coffee. The Vision Council did a survey to say that this is when we're all out and about, and 75% of us know that there's damaging effects of UV exposure, but only 21% of us are actually wearing sunglasses.
So we should all be wearing more. Everyone should be wearing sunglasses. We should be doing that more often, shouldn't we?
We should absolutely be wearing sunglasses more often, not only for your eye health, but because they look awesome.
There you go. And that's the thing that's really fun about sunglasses. You can actually change your entire look based on what you're wearing for sunglasses. So let's talk about what's trendy right now. You know, there's some people that wear, I don't know if they still call them like bug eye sunglasses, but those really big ones, oversized. Are those still cool, or is that kind of a past fad now?
No, I wish you could see me right now because I have a pair of exactly those. They're oversized, they're Chloe, they're kind of amazing. But as you say, you know, anything goes right now. You see cat eyes, we see the little kind of circular John Lennon-esque sunglasses. We see the giant oversized aviators, and you think about all our favorite celebrities, from Gigi Hadid wearing the cat eyes to Victoria Beckham wearing the oversized aviators. You know, that anything goes. We've got some fantastic brands such as Lamb, Salvatore Ferragamo, Vernet, Maui Jim, Foster Grant, Polaroid. Honestly, I have got so many sunglasses around me right now, I don't know what to do.
Now, I'm the kind of guy that I'm always afraid to get really nice sunglasses because I lose them a lot. I mean, I'll be at an event and I'll take my sunglasses off, and then I'll be looking around later and go, where did I put those? So it's probably a good idea to have more than one pair of sunglasses, isn't it?
I think everybody needs a little sunglasses wardrobe, I call it. So you've got a pair of sunglasses for every occasion. You can have a pair of sunglasses for something more casual. You can have a pair of sunglasses for something more dressy. You can have a pair of sunglasses for something sporty. I think it's like a pair of shoes. You want as many as possible to just turn to when the occasion strikes. Very
nice. And I encourage people to have a spare pair of sunglasses in your car, because that's the time you definitely need them. If you're driving, and this time of year, there are days where it is so darn bright out that you can get in an accident if you don't have sunglasses, and that's a terrible time to get in the car and be, 5 miles down the road and realize, oh no, I left them at home.
You're so right, John. I think a spare pair of sunglasses in the glove compartment should always be there. And the sun's rays are still damaging. You're driving and they're still damaging.
Is there a place online that we maybe could go to get some more info? I see the Vision Council is encouraging people to wear sunglasses. Is there a place online that we can go get more information about that?
Absolutely. You already said it. In thevisioncouncil.org/UV for more information about all of this great stuff we're talking about. And also, I strongly recommend that everybody, once a year, goes and gets an annual eye exam.
That is a very good idea, because your vision changes without you even realizing it, because you see out of those same little peepers every single day, so you just kind of get used to it. But when you go in and have that vision check and you have a screening done, that's when you find out. And you can actually find out some really important health things during that screening too, can't you?
Totally. Your eyes are your windows of your soul, and they tell so much about what's going on and health-wise in your body. And I think there's so much we can learn about it from thevisioncouncil.org. And it's really great reading, actually. I've spent a lot of time studying it recently, and it sheds a lot of light on it, I should say.
Very nice. Well, Xana, thank you for taking time to chat with us.
My pleasure, John. So nice to chat with you.
Again, Xana Roberts-Rassi. She's a fashion consultant and a TV contributor, and we're chatting today about National Sunglasses Day, which was actually about a little over a week ago, but we weren't able to get her on that day. She's a busy lady. She's got a lot of people that want to talk to her. So thank you again for taking the time to chat with us. And folks, thank you for listening to The John and Heidi Show.